What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about progression in fitness. Progression is something that you should progress through, meaning that you're going to get better at it. So think of it like learning math. You're going to read certain different kinds of chapters, and then you're going to progress to a different chapter because you've learned something that can be applied to something else, and therefore you're creating that growing process. What a lot of people miss when it comes to fitness, that progression is start slow and then you progress, you get better and better. But a lot of people don't like to start at that simple starting spot. And so if you've ever looked at like an athlete, you notice that they really don't post a lot of their videos and how-tos. I'm talking more like professional athletes. And so that's because what they do may not be sexy or cool or get the likes, and it's kind of personal to some extent because it's a learning process. And so when I work with clients, I want to make sure that they're learning something. And even though that we may do that same exercise for 4 weeks on end, either load time, stuff will get changed, they'll learn something in that exercise and feel confident to move to something else that's more difficult. What you see with a lot of exercise nowadays is that everybody wants that shock factor, something wow, spark their attention. And that's great now to keep the attention going with your clients, your customers, with your group classes and such. But it's really going to hinder their long-term performance. Are you stronger now than you were 3 years ago? Are you more fit now than you were 3 years ago? And so progression has the word progress in it. And so make sure that you're making progress, and if you're not, you're probably not following some sort of progression. So imagine this, you're learning math. You're going through the chapters, you're like, oh yeah, I totally understand this. The next day in class, the teacher's like, all right, we're gonna open our page to chapter 10. Well, we were just doing chapter 3. And so you might struggle for a while, you might learn some things, but in the end, you're not really going to learn or feel confident, and most likely you're going to fail that test in math. But the hard part is when it comes to fitness or exercises, when it comes to failure, that's injury. And so yes, you can do different exercises, probably risk of injury is going to not be immediate, but if you continue to change stuff up and don't allow your body to adapt to the stimulus and grow from that, you are going to put you at a risk of injury, and you're not really going to learn much from it, and you're going to become more and more dependent on that trainer, on that coach, on who's ever giving that instruction, because you're like, man, I just don't understand everything that's going on, and so I need their instruction. I need that because I won't be able to get through that workout or do what I'm supposed to without them. And so it kind of takes that learning away from you, and fitness, your time, your energy, your money, it's an investment. You should be learning something. And so a very easy, way to kind of look at, which sport does progression. They all do, but the most simple one to kind of understand is powerlifting. Bodybuilding kind of fits there as well. It's all numbers based, rest based and weight based. And so those numbers, that sport is very hard for a person to do the same kind of stuff and progress very, very slowly. An average person would be like, man, this is boring. Like, why would you want to do this? And so they'll start mixing up exercises to keep themselves interested rather than, hey, by me going slow and doing the numbers and progressing that way, I'm going to find certain things, either it's my bench, squat, deadlift, that I may have not noticed before, but now I'm kind of just steamrolling over because I just want to try new stuff. And so, yes, starting simple is very important. As a trainer, as a coach, eventually you have to get creative, find, what can this exercise adapt into? What can I build from this to continue progressing? And that's where you have to get really creative. And That's where a lot of coaches just fail, and they'll just, oh, we're just going to try a new workout. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to jump to chapter 20 today. And that sparks interest, like I said, but it also takes away that progression, that learning phase, that, hey, I'm starting to understand, my knee has to be over my foot for this reverse lunge or this forward lunge. Whereas I probably wouldn't have caught this because we just did it one day and the next day we did something else. And so make sure that you're progressing. If you're not seeing progression, like you were investing your money, if you're not making more money off your investments, you're probably investing wrong. And so kind of do a self-analysis. Are you stronger? Are you more fit? Are you more healthy? Or are you just kind of staying, hey, I like to be active, and that's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to, be active, be healthy. But you always want to minimize risk as much as possible. And so just kind of take that little note off to the side, just minimize risk. And with progression is progress. So if you're not seeing progress, probably not getting any progression stuff going. So I thought I'd keep it short today. Thank you for listening to my little spiel about progression and fitness, and I hope that helped you, give you the tools or some knowledge about your own health and fitness. Have a good rest of your day, man.